This is nice and neat. Come, let's go.
Ooh. It's hitting a little hard today. Right now.
To the hundreds, pledge allegiance, I stand. I'm going up on the floor with a fucking white sand. I give it all to this fucking mic stand. If it's been done before, then I know I can. I'm on
Okay.
Keep the level head.
Okay.
I'd rather shed blood.
All right. Yo, what's the deal? Y'all hope all is well. Welcome back to another episode. I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Jalan, and this is another episode of the #1 podcast in all of Los Angeles. Nice and neat, fellas. We are here for another week covering another Universal film. Thank you, Universal, for this partnership. We are covering another film. This week we're doing Do the Right Thing. I'm excited to do the Right Thing. It's a film who I've watched this film easily over 10 times. Easily. Since I was various different points as a kid. And when I say as a kid, I'm talking like 10 to 12 range, as a teenager and as an adult now. And every single time it was different. When I was a kid, it felt like a feel-good movie. Mm-hmm. Now when I watch it, it's like, that's not really.
It never really.
So I think when we watch these films, and audience, when you watch this film again, you're probably going to get a whole different perspective from it. And I think that's the point of a good film. Every time you watch it, you're supposed to be able to grab something different from it. So fellas, we're just going to jump right into it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see you ready. You got your all black on. You look like a Black Panther today.
Fight the power.
That's what you looking like.
I'm feeling. I got that energy.
What was your favorite moment from this film?
Oh.
Y'all both got beanies on.
He gonna put me on the spot like that, and then right after that, fight the power. You know what? This is gonna strike people as this may be a shocker. All right, but I did think, and this is. Let's see if y'all actually caught this. One of my favorite moments in the film was when Mookie was leaving his apartment. All right, Mookie is a character that Spike Lee plays. He's leaving his apartment after he went home because he was hot. He wanted to take a shower. His sister was at the crib. She's like, well, you need to go back to work, right? They walk outside. Who is Mookie's friend? What's the guy's name who was tripping on Sal?
Bugging out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Bugging Out walks up on Spike on Mookie's sister, right? And she's like, I'm about to go to Sal's, grab a slice. And he's like, What you talking about? Go to Sal's? We boycotting Sal's. Mm-hmm. It's a boycott on Sal's. And she's like, boy, what you talking about? I grew up on Sal's. I'm eating Sal's my whole life. He's like, nah, like you're not down for the movement. And she was like, no. He said, you're not down, and she said, I am down before a movement. Like I don't know, like I don't know what you doing. Like what you doing? There's no reason to get behind that. But if you talk about someone being down, like, bring something that's like real, something that like is going to help, substantial that's going to help the people. Hell yeah, I'm down. I thought that was a powerful moment, and it really got overshadowed in that movie. But obviously, there was a reason why it was put in there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just I guess to really show like the unfortunate small percentage of us that are actually down for true movements. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that was actually one of my favorite parts of the film.
Hey, so
I don't know if y'all caught that.
I didn't.
I did.
I didn't.
You did.
I did.
And you didn't.
I didn't. My part not is profound or deep.
Okay.
but one part I was laughing at though was when they were playing in the street in the water, man. And then the cops was rolling by, or no, some man was rolling by. And he was like, yo, don't splash me with the water. And he was like, oh, yeah, it's all good. He had his drop top down. He's like, yo, no, come on. He was like, hurry up, man, come on. So when he rolled by, it's
wet his
ass up. But it just reminded me of how much fun kids be having when we young. You know what I mean? It just reminded me just like
in the summer. No, ain't nothing like it.
And it also reminded me sometimes like we mature now, but like sometimes like being a bad kid was fun. Yeah. But we didn't look at it as being bad. We just looked at it as just having fun.
Yep.
So I thought that took me back to childhood. So that was a really relatable moment for me, man. It was funny.
For sure.
That was mine.
What about yours, bro?
Maybe I'm not as mature as you guys. But before that, I do got to get my mature moment out. Actually, that moment right there made me think about just the duality in the way that we think as Black people. There always is I'll call it a Martin Luther King approach, and then there is a Malcolm X approach.
But see, Malcolm X was strategic. What's his name?
Bugging out.
There was no strategy.
Boy got fouls. Boy got fouls. Hey, no. So, I mean, well, since we talking about favorite parts of the movie, my favorite part of the movie actually was when they showed all the different races just throwing out their racial slurs and just getting it off. Just getting it off. Like, you know what? I am so frustrated with you, Black dude, you 360-degree slamming. Like, and honestly, whoever wrote that, Spike, you're a genius.
Spike wrote that.
Spike's a genius for that, because in those moments of just pure frustration, I felt like as a white man, you were able to understand the white officer's frustration when he got his slurs off. As a Black man, you were able to understand Spike's frustrations as he got off. As an Italian man and as an Asian man, you were able to, as a Latino man, you were able to understand all of those frustrations. And I've never seen a form of racism so fair as this is how I feel and this is what I experience. And I felt like the lens that he was just able to show us wasn't through the lens of an angry Black man, but it was like, this is the world we all live in.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting that the film is kind of centered around racism, and it wasn't too much racism between white and Black in the film? I mean, we kind of got a sense of it, like a taste of it at the end with the police brutality, but like throughout the film, it's really the racism is between colored people, which is kind of odd. You know what I mean? It's not even a black and white thing in this film, which is today it's more of a black and white thing, I would say. You know what I mean? I kind of thought that was kind of interesting as well. Like, I really didn't notice any type. Am I right?
Yeah, and I think Spike did a good job with that one, right? But speaking of Spike, what do y'all feel about Spike Lee? Like, when you think about Spike Lee, like, is there a specific, do you look forward to his movies? Do you not care about his movies? Do you feel like his movies are impactful? Like, what's the overall feeling around Spike Lee?
I think his films are impactful. I think, you know, this is something I just noticed yesterday. I think he deserves a lot of credit, especially for a film like Do the Right Thing, for someone to write it, direct it, produce it, and act in it. I don't know. There's been too many people who could say that they've done that.
You think he's at the top of what he of like in his category, black directors?
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, I would say, you know,
he's a pioneer.
Yeah,
He's a pioneer.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even.
No one else in the category, right?
I wouldn't even just say black directors. Spike Lee.
I was gonna say I don't think it's a black thing.
Yeah,
I think
it's not a black thing.
It's a director thing.
That's like saying, would you say Denzel was at the top of black actors?
Yeah.
Right, I got you.
He's at the top of actors. When you talk about directors, you talk about Spike.
Yeah,
I got you.
You know, I think it's really dope because I feel like Universal helps black stories get told. And in 1989, for them to take a chance on a film like Do the Right Thing that is literally centered around racism.
Well, sorry, I know you mentioned, I think you may have mentioned this off camera, but like you said, this film is based off a true story that happened 3 years prior to it being
It was
filmed. Inspired by. So like the story might have been fresh. So he, you know what I mean? It's very easy to probably get that approval from a studio, you know what I mean? To make a film like this off of it. Like it wouldn't be hard for anybody today to sell a story off of something that's going on within the inner city neighborhoods. The story is very interesting. It's very interesting. We want to know about it, and people deserve to see, like, get a light and shed better light on what's going on, you know?
Yeah. 1989, to be able to have a story centered around racism but yet told in the way that it was. As I mentioned, when I was a kid watching this film, if you're not looking through that lens of like, let me dive deeper in this, you're looking at it as like, this is almost a feel-good movie. This is a summer in New York.
Right.
And, you know, it's a lot of loud, rambunctious talk. It's jokes. You could feel that. That could be literally one lens you watch the entire movie through. You watch the entire movie too. Like, now, watching this film, understanding life a little bit more, experiencing life a little bit more. We're literally in the midst of another situation with police brutality. You cannot watch through the lens of this is just a feel good.
Yeah, it's not just entertainment. Nah, it's not entertainment. It's actually storytelling. It's actually education.
Yeah,
you know.
It wasn't as deep as, you know, when you know, one thing that the Wayans brothers always do in their parody movies is when they have message.
Oh
yeah. You know, it wasn't
that obvious.
It wasn't that obvious.
It wasn't that obvious, but
you know, but the messages were in there, as you mentioned. The messages were in there throughout the entire movie, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed that. I enjoy seeing so many black faces, so many black cameos in there.
Bro, let's talk about all the actors that are in this film.
Right. Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson there with a small part.
Yep.
Bro. And you know it's so, bro, as I'm looking at it, I mean, there's plenty of other actors, but really quick, like Samuel, like, I don't know if y'all saw, like, you had to see, he's speaking, he's DJ, shit like that. I could see, like, caps on his teeth. I'm like, oh, this is early. Like, Samuel ain't got, like, he not even cracking yet.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Look completely different.
Completely different.
Look completely different.
Yep.
Rosie Perez, right?
Her break.
Introducing Rosie Perez.
They say it in the credits.
They say it in the opening credits.
Yep.
Martin.
Who
else we had in there?
There's some actors. Bugging Out he's a huge actor.
Yeah,
I don't know his name, but he's dope.
Even the Puerto Rican cat, I forget his name. God.
I mean, even what is it? Vito the son.
Yep. Yes.
Oh yeah, I seen it.
Hey,
what?
Hey, you know what though? His performance was so strong in that film to me. Like I thought
I felt like that's who he was.
You feel like that's who he was?
No, I felt like I really believe this guy.
He bodied it.
It wasn't acting.
Yeah, that's what
he did.
He did that.
Yeah. Oh, he did such a great job.
He's a good actor.
He's a great actor.
He's a good actor.
Now it was filled with a lot of great actors today really getting their start. You know what I mean? They break on it.
You know what? Speaking of his character, there was a part in there. And, you know, obviously we say this movie is surrounded by racism. There was a part in there that stuck with me. There's a part in there that stuck with me. And Mookie finally just said, you know, I'm going to call this fool out. I'm going to call him out. He was like, yo, you always talking about black people. You say black people this, black people that. And as if you don't like us, you don't care about us.
He was saying black people.
Yeah, he wasn't saying black people for the sake of our listeners. You know, insert expletive here. So he was saying that, and he told him, he said, man, who's your favorite hooper? He said, Magic. He said, okay, cool. Who's your favorite entertainer? Prince. And he was like, yo, you saying all these guys are all black, and yet you got a disdain towards the black man that walk into your business. What is wrong with you? And he said
we're different. He said they're a different type of black.
It's different type of black. He couldn't even put his finger on it. And the fact that he got called out like that made me think about how many people truly feel like that about black people. Mm-hmm. How many people feel like just because a black person is an entertainer, they're different than me or you sitting here on this couch right now speaking.
Wow.
How many black people feel like just because a black person is an entertainer, they're any different than the black person that's got arrested by the police or got brutalized by the police? Why do you feel like they're different? Just because you see them on TV or they're in your home?
Yeah, it's like the O.J. Simpson complex. Ooh. It's like, yo, like once you make it past a certain threshold, like you supersede black, right? So now like if there's black, there's white, and there's like celebrity.
Yep.
You right? It's like that celebrity cloud. There's no skin color, right? It's also what they were talking about with Magic Johnson hanging around. Who was the owner? What's up?
Sal?
Bus. No, Magic Johnson hanging around Jerry Bus.
Jerry Bus. Sorry, my
like,
bad.
And those worlds intermixing, and people were saying like, yo, once Magic got to Magic Johnson level, it was like, forget all the black stuff, forget all the white stuff. Like, we all up here now. You know what I'm saying? That's how people look at it, right? So I thought that's what I took away from what he was saying about that. And I think a lot of people do feel like that. But I feel like, you know, black people that aren't celebrities, it's like, hey, yo, we all the same. You know what I'm saying? We all the same. So yeah, I thought that shit was interesting.
I like when black, like for example, Spike could easily take the approach like, man, I'm a celebrity now. I don't need to tell these stories like this anymore. I don't need to present.
But was he a celebrity by that point?
32. I mean, he could have played the celebrity game if he wanted to.
What did he do before Do the Right Thing?
He had two films before that. School Days was before that.
That was before. School Days was before.
That was before that.
Okay.
And that was huge in our community. Not
Yeah,
saying it was Do the Right Thing, but it was huge in our community. He could have played that game. And he had another film before that. I forget the name of it. But the fact that he said, nah, like, I need to keep telling these stories and people need to understand, and just small instances like that just to show the nuances. Because I think one thing about racism that is very, very dangerous is that how intricate it is. People think every piece of racism has to be something big, or it has to be somebody dying at a traffic stop, and like that's what shows racism. But racism could be something as small as just how we spoke a few weeks ago in Get Out, as a police asking you for your ID and you had nothing to do with this situation. And somebody who is not familiar with being in our shoes may look at it as, what's the big deal? Because it's so nuanced. So even in thinking that it's nothing wrong to love Eddie Murphy and love Magic Johnson and love Prince, but I don't need to love other black people, that him bringing light to that nuance was that, like, that, it was brilliant. Like, that's brilliant. To sit back and be like, nah, people really be doing this. People need to see that. People need to understand that. And I really enjoyed the nuances throughout this entire movie.
Okay.
I crap up.
Crap up.
That crap
That
up.
crap up. It's getting good in here. What's the deal, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Nice and Neat Halftime Show. I'm your host, Omar. We're sitting here breaking down Do the Right Thing, written, directed, produced by Spike Lee. It's an incredible film done over 30 years ago. It's crazy how the message that's being conveyed in the film still resonates really well in today's society and today's climate, which is something that's really unfortunate. But you know, it is what it is. And we're here to break that down and really just give our take on that. So, you know, we like to play that game, didn't the rules, but I'm not so sure if Duke is prepared for that today. So
What you got for us?
what you got for us, Luke?
Shit,
What you got for us, Luke?
I'm gonna ask y'all a question, and just think deep about it. Just be as candid as possible. All right, Jalal, I'm gonna start with you. What do you love about being black?
That was a beautiful question. That was a beautiful question, dog. Wow. That was good, man. Man. Dude, where do I start? Okay. Wow. I love my genetic makeup. I love my height. I love my charisma. I love the way that when I smile, how my white teeth looks against my black skin. I love the way that my black woman loves me. I love my black parents. I love the love that we can express. I love how love is embedded in us and ingrained in us, and we lead with love before anything else. Man, bro, the list can go on and on. Like, I love me more than anybody else could love me, and part of that love comes from being black. Wow, that was a great question, bro. That was a great question. Hey, let's give it up for Duke for that question.
Hey,
man.
yo. I mean, it is Black History Month, so I felt like it was appropriate, right? So we got to get that off before this month is over. Wow. All right. So, what do you love about being a black man?
Man, I love my hair. I love that my hair naturally just does this. Like, I didn't have to do anything to it. my hair naturally just came out. My hair is locks. You know what I mean? I love that. Even though we don't know it, we are the majority. I love that. No matter where we go, we demand attention. Either one, we're the most skilled or underrated, most valued. I love that Black is valued. I love that being Black, I love being naturally gifted, and I feel like that comes from being Black. I love that I feel like I could do whatever I want. I feel like that comes from being Black, because I feel like that comes from being in a struggle for so long, right? And I feel like there's certain things that come with, there's certain other strength, there's certain other superpowers that come with being Black. And I love that about being Black. Yeah.
Okay.
Dude.
I don't think anyone has ever asked me that question
Nah,
before.
bro. It's crazy because I wore shirts that say I love being Black.
Whoa.
You know, I think what's more interesting about this question is just like, it's so much content out here that tells us what we should not be proud of, right? Our communities, our circumstances, how far behind we are in comparison to other races, you know, our deficiencies in, you know, education and finances. Like, there's a lot of information that tells us like, yo, like, you guys really not like that, you know? So I always think it's important to remind each other that we are. You know what I'm saying? I love being a part of a culture as passionate as ours. Right? We can really be passionate about anything. Right? I love the fact that we can make a dark situation light, mm-hmm. and we can find fun and joy, mm-hmm. and, you know, damn near any situation, you know, we're in. I love the perseverance of Black people, right? And our ability to endure tough times and somehow come out of that, right? And create amazing lives and do a lot of amazing things. I love the fact that we inspire the world, right? We set trends. We set music trends. We set entertainment trends, right? I love the coolness of being Black, right? I love the fact that, you know, I have just like the genetics of a Greek god. You know what I'm saying? I love the fact that we get first dibs on Black women. You know what I'm saying? I love, like, that's like I can't fathom being anything else. You know what I'm saying? And I just love the fact that, you know, we just really ride for each other. You know what I mean? And it feels like being Black feels like, I know everyone talks about like we don't sit together, but being Black does feel like just a built-in community. You know what I'm saying? That I don't think other people have. So,
you know what else I love about being Black too? It's like, no matter where you go,
the head nod.
Hey, like within the country, it don't matter. It don't matter. Like you can
like
always
the unwritten.
You can always find acceptance.
I love the universal head
Right.
nod.
Right. So like,
I love that about us.
You do the head nod up or you go?
yeah.
It depends.
Yeah, I do down.
It depends.
If I see an older man, I'm always giving them down. If I see a young dude, I might want to say what's up.
Young dude, what's up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like the head nod down is a sign of reverence.
Reference for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, sir. I see you.
Dog.
Yeah.
I see you.
It's like a
I
little
see you.
bow.
Hey,
It's
that's-
like a little bow.
I see you.
Hey, the head nod. What's up, nigga? Nah, but yeah, I just want to get y'all thoughts
Hey,
on
thanks
that.
for that, bro.
Yeah,
Man.
Thank you, man.
course.
That was a
Man,
great
if you-
Black History
You know
Month
what?
question.
You know what? We want to know from you guys. Drop it in the comments below.
Right.
What do you love about being Black?
Right.
I think that's an awesome question, dude. That's
Right.
incredible. Take some time to think about it. I mean, I'm gonna go home and write some
Right.
things down.
Right,
I gotta really
everything.
think about it because
Nah,
I was
for
on the
real.
spot. Like, and I really would like to know, like,
Yeah.
have a real thorough answer.
Yeah.
next time anybody asks me that.
And I also want to like say this before we wrap up the halftime. Yo, being proud of being black. Like think of like when we say, yo, what do you love about being black? Make it about you and no one else. All right. Don't make it about being better than the next race. Just make it about you and no one else. Say, what do I love about being black? That's completely detached from anything else. Right. That way it's really about you and you feel it more and you could really just see and understand it more.
So look, we'll never give y'all homework, but y'all got some homework, man. All the viewers, all the listeners, think about it. Maybe take a list, sheet of paper, write it down. I want y'all to specifically write it down, this list. 10 reasons why you love being black.
10 reasons, numbers.
10. Let's call it 10. Let's just start at 10 and drop it in the comments, and maybe we could create another episode off of that. You know what I mean? But with that said, we're going to conclude this week's halftime show and get to the second half the only way we know how. That's with some positive energy, some positive vibrations, and a smile. Of course, second half, let's get into it.
So look, check this out. We've been celebrating Black History all month, and we got something for you guys. For now until February 28th, the last day of Black History Month, you can now buy Girls Trip for $7.50. In addition, you will also receive Get Out, Queen and Slim, Straight Outta Compton, and Do the Right Thing for your personal movie collections. You can have all of these films just by going to voodoo.com and redeeming the code Celebrate Black History. That code again is Celebrate Black History. Now back to the show.
Okay. Hey, Duke, again, thanks for that question, because just being able to sit down and reflect on why you love yourself is always extremely important. So you guys make sure y'all do your homework. Listen to that halftime again. And like O said, 10 things on why you love being black. That's important. But fellas, we got to get back into Do the Right Thing. I was thinking in the film when Bugging Out, the character, I feel like you like Bugging Out as a character.
I did not like him
you
as
did
a character, no.
Okay, so that means he did a good job.
Yes, he killed it.
So in the film, Bugging Out was upset that there were no photos of black people on the wall in this Italian pizzeria. And he had a valid argument. He was pretty much saying, yo, we patronize this business. Why isn't there photos of of black people on the wall? And I feel like he had a valid argument. How you feel about that?
I think his argument was valid. I think he could have done a better job of articulating that to Sal. You know what I mean? He came into his place of business, the business owner, and shouting, yelling, screaming at this dude about how come black people aren't on the wall. So I think, his questions are valid, but I think his approach was terrible, which led to his execution being even worse than that. You know what I mean? And I think that makes me think about, a common problem that we have within our culture, where we try to use our brute force, our brute energy, to get what we want. You know what I mean? Rather than taking some time to be more savvy, to be more articulate, to come up with creative, phrases to get what we want from whatever individual we're seeking that from, rather than trying to just always flex our muscle to get it. You know what I mean? And I think we got to do better at that. I think we got to do it. So was he valid? Was his approach or what he was saying valid? Sure, it was valid. His approach was terrible though, and his execution was terrible. So yeah, that's my stance on that. And again, my stance is that I think we as a community need to do better at learning how to articulate ourselves.
Duke, you think his inquiry was valid?
I think you can make any inquiry sound valid.
Okay.
But I don't feel like I think he created a problem.
Yeah.
I think he created a problem.
Man.
I don't think it was problematic. You know what I'm saying? So if you go into a restaurant and it's a small business and an Italian owns a restaurant and there's all Italians on the wall, that's not a problem. It doesn't matter if all black people eat there. It's not a problem. One, because it's a business that's ran by an Italian man. And if it's your business, you can do what you want with the decoration. You can do what you want with the promotion, as long as you're not hurting the customers. I don't think nothing's wrong with that. I think saying, yo, I'm a black man, I eat here, right, is an entitlement thing to say, yo, like, well, you need us on the wall. Well, no, you don't. Why? Why you need to be on my wall as a customer?
Well, he's not talking about himself personally.
Correct. But I'm just saying, though, like, but that's he's saying that, like, yo, black people eat here, black people should be on the wall.
Yeah.
He didn't even say, yo, black celebrities come through here, he didn't, none of that. He just saying, yo, we eat here, we should be on the wall.
He said Michael Jordan.
He did
on the wall. Michael Jordan.
Yeah, he so did.
So like, I think that, like, it kind of that situation kind of like made me. It kind of tore me because I'm like, on one hand, it's like, yeah, we want representation, but at the same time, it's just like some things ain't problems, right? There's a lot of other problems that we have that we should be gunning for, but that's we can't turn that into a problem.
Yeah.
Right? Because when and a lot of times that stuff comes from like us not owning the store. Because when we
That's
own
the root of it.
right? Because when we own a store, if somebody comes into our store and tries to tell us who we should put on our wall, it's a problem.
Yep.
Can nobody tell us that?
Can't tell
right?
me nothing.
So why do we feel like we have the nerve to tell somebody who to put on their wall?
Yeah.
Right? But it all comes from the ownership part of it, right? Because like when you own or you create something, it's a whole different perspective for someone who just consumes it.
Yeah.
Right? You have a consumer mindset. You don't even know how it feels to be the owner and to have to like run a business, to promote, to like, nah, it's a completely different ballgame. So you can't come in here and tell me how my decor should look.
Why do you think it seemed to only be a problem with what's my
Bugging out.
With bugging out. Like there was no problem. Mookie never mentioned that. The other four friends never mentioned that. Mookie's sister never mentioned that.
Yeah.
Why do you think it was such? Why do you what do you think they were trying to get across by only like honing in on bugging out being him only having a problem with it?
So that was dangerous. I'm gonna tell you why it was dangerous, because him having a problem with it actually got somebody killed.
Absolutely. But nobody else in the community had a problem with it.
No, nobody else had a problem with it, but he brought his problem into, and I think this is a common thing, a common theme. I could have a problem with something, and because I'm black, I feel that we should have linear thinking, and now I bring you into the problem, and you feel the pressure of being black. So now it's like, I'll support him in it, but I don't necessarily feel
this way,
like this, but I'll support him in it. And that's when he brought Radio Raheem into the problem. And he brought him into Sal's shop. And Radio Raheem came in to say, I don't even think Radio Raheem fully understand it, but he was just the quote unquote.
We can't say that because he had a moment earlier in the film when he was telling us the difference between love and hate with the rings. Raheem was a deep dude.
He's a deep dude.
After that scene, there's no way he didn't understand what was going on.
Right.
There's no way. There's no way that character was too smart.
But I'm saying like he probably didn't feel as deep about that situation.
No.
I feel like Raheem was also like a neighborhood kind of muscle. So it was like, yo,
but he was like a smart muscle.
He was a smart
like
muscle.
No bully,
he wasn't a bully. He was a smart muscle. But that's why I feel like when Bugging Out brought him in, he understood it, and he was like, yo, I'll kind of be here to support you with it. But it wasn't his fight. It wasn't his fight, and I feel like he suffered the consequences of somebody else's fight.
Well, not really though, because he could have avoided the situation too. Right, it really escalated because his music was blasting. All right, he didn't have to be blasting his music. He made a choice too.
Yeah,
you know, the name of the film is "Do the Right Thing," and the whole film is filled with choices that everyone gets to make throughout the entire film. So you know, he didn't make the right choice in that situation.
Definitely think that sense of entitlement though is important, because we do have to speak up for where we want change, right? We have to speak up. We have to take action. We have to protest and you know, gather and all those things. But then we also have a responsibility to look at situations and say, yo, like, is this situation what we're fighting for, right? Is this situation going to lead to us making significant change, right? Is this situation a situation that is even something that we should be upset by? right? Because we can't just get upset by everything that we can't just say, yo, we want this. Let's go. We can't say, yo, we want this. It's a problem. That's what it is, without doing the due diligence and saying, yo, like, nah, it's not really a problem, right? Another thing is, you mentioned Jalon, yo, are we putting pressure in today's world? Are we putting pressure on other Black people to take up in the fight that we're having, even though they don't believe what we believe in their hearts? Right? Do Black people feel that pressure from other, or do all Black people literally legit think the same?
Yeah. Yeah, Black people feel that pressure because we don't all think the same.
We don't all think the same.
So you feel the pressure. Like, let's use just out here in California, in Los Angeles, when George Floyd situation happened, and everybody's like, "Are you gonna go march? Are you gonna?" You feel obligated that I gotta go down there now, because if I don't, Black people are gonna look at me as if I don't care. But like, everybody can insert their self in different ways. I don't feel like we get the luxury to be able to do that. There are certain aspects where we should be sticking together, and we should be being on the same page with each other. But again, back to what you said about Mookie's sister saying like, hey, if there's no plan, I don't feel comfortable even just boycotting just cause. I'm more like that. I'm not just getting out because the emotions are high. I'm not an emotional thinker. I'm not an emotional doer in that situation. So a lot of times we will get upset with each other because it's like, yo, I feel we need to be doing this. It's like, well, let's sit down and think about it.
But what's unfortunate is a lot of times we jumping into shit without sitting down and thinking about it, right? Prime example, towards the end of the film, right, when they start trashing Sal's spot, no one had how all of a sudden everyone in the neighborhood is just fucking the spot up. No one even, I guess there was a reason why we saw Radio Raheem die, right? The neighborhood saw him die, right? The police killed him. But everyone started trashing Sal's spot, and everyone else in the neighborhood didn't really understand what was going on. They had no plan of action. They didn't talk about it. They just jumped in. But if it's something that you have to have a plan on, and there's a real movement behind it, people don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But for some reason, if it's like sporadic and it's just chaos, like, fucking, I'm down. I'm down for the moment. We be down for the moment, but we don't be down for the movement.
And it's interesting you say that, because all of that happened at night, and then in the morning, you got to get out and clean your same neighborhood on those streets that you walk by every single day.
That's your neighborhood.
In your neighborhood, you got to get up and pick up trash, and you got to watch these buildings try to come back together. And it's like, yeah, you're trashing these owners' shops. And Mookie says it in the film. Sal, what you tripping for? Insurance going to pay for this. But that's still your neighborhood, though.
Yeah.
That's not Sal's neighborhood. Sal got to drive there from his neighborhood.
Yep. He said that his neighborhood is saturated with piece of spots. That's why he got it here. Yeah, that's so crazy.
And yet we trash our neighborhood because there's no thought behind it. There's no thought behind, hey, like, how should we best get our point across? And that's why I think the title of the movie is so fitting. Like, even in that, your frustration, are you doing the right thing?
Yo, so do the right thing though. Okay? Is it hard doing the right thing on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes doing the right thing is hard. Doing the right thing is hard sometimes. Doing the right thing sometimes makes you uncomfortable, or it's going to make someone else uncomfortable. Doing the right thing sometimes isn't easy. Sometimes doing the wrong thing is a lot easier than doing the right thing. So I don't think it's easy. It's not cookie cutter. It's not black and white all the time, like most people may think it is. I mean, shit, if you think about your day-to-day life, think about how many times you do the wrong thing. Shit. We'd be happy if we were 50-50.
So you ever like struggle back and forth like, yeah, I really know I should do the right thing, but I really want to do the wrong thing because it's just easier.
It's just easier. Absolutely. That's a real moment.
How do you overcome that feeling? And not just submit to it.
It's got to be something that it's got to be consistent. You got to consistently be putting yourself in a situation to where you are. It's an exercise for you to do the right thing. it's got to become an exercise. You have to treat it like an exercise, and it becomes like a muscle, right? Just like exercise. Like the more we exercise, the more stronger the muscle gets, the more endurance, the more stamina we have. So the more exercise you get of doing the right thing, the better you'll get when those situations arise. But if you're always running from the situation and not giving yourself an opportunity to do the right thing or the wrong thing, then you can't get better, or you can't. That was a question, right?
Yep.
You can't get better at it. I don't think.
I had a question for you guys.
What's up?
Can black people be racist?
Can black people be racist?
I feel like black people are racist.
Can black people be racist? I think black people can be racist.
Can.
I think they can. I think they can. But it just doesn't hit as hard. Right? Just because the oppression.
Yeah.
So it's our racism doesn't make the same impact, as our counterparts' racism, right? So it stings less to them, right? And I think that because we've gone through so much things in the past, it almost kind of, we always have that our history to kind of justify our racism, right? So you can be racism, but people will say, well, we have a reason to. You get what I'm saying? But I think everyone can be racist. There's like, racism isn't like, no one's exempt from racism, right? No one's exempt from any of that, bro. Like I've definitely believe black people can be racist. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of activists will say, no, that's not the case, but how can it not be? Right? If you look up the definition of racism, it doesn't say that, it don't say
limited to
it don't say
this
it,
culture.
just, right?
No.
It's just an act. It's an act. It's a thought, right? And we have those.
And if we think of all of ourselves as like, nah, we all equal, we just a different color.
Correct.
And you act this way.
Correct.
Yeah.
Then you could be racist.
Correct. So yeah, I would say yeah. You know what I mean? But there's caveats, right? I think it's always tricky for us, because there's always that justification factor for us, and that like oppressed factor for us that always applies. So it's tricky, but I think it's a fact.
I feel like our racism be like, I don't fuck with you. I don't rock with you. Our level of racism be like that. Where I feel like is someone else, let's take like white people, their level of racism be like, some like extreme, like I want to kill you.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas our racism, it'd be a little, like you said, it doesn't hit as hard. It'd be a little watered down because our racism is more so just like, yo, you just stay over there and I stay over here.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
We're not messing with you.
We just not messing with you.
And we're not stopping you from doing nothing.
We're not stopping. I don't care, bro. You just stay over there. We stay over here. We good.
I got you.
You know what I mean? Whereas another culture's level of racism literally be like, I'm trying to
wipe y'all off the face of the earth.
I could care less if you guys are here. Matter of fact, the world would be a better place if you guys weren't.
Matter of fact, I want you guys to be here. I just want to use you for my benefit.
That. So I think black people can be racist, but I feel like our level of racism isn't as serious as other cultures could be.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
So if you don't think someone is inferior to you, can you be racist?
No.
You can't.
You just be prejudiced towards them?
I think it'll be more of a prejudice, a predisposed opinion about someone.
Okay, so now that's why I say it's tricky.
Prejudice, a prejudgment.
Yeah, that's
So
why I
like,
say it's tricky, because like I know I said black people can be racist, but like, do you think that black people look at other people as inferior?
No.
Right? I don't really think so.
No.
So that's the that's what's hard about
that's
it.
the caveat
That's
to
the
the
caveat,
definition.
because it's just like black people can be racist, but then it's like, all right, you start digging into like what racism is, and there's like an inferior thing going on. But I don't think black people look at people and say, yo, like, you're inferior to me because you're a different color. You may have inferior like physical capabilities, or those types of specific
Not because
capabilities.
of skin color.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Ooh.
I agree.
What about you? You think so?
Can black people be racist?
Can black people be racist?
Now that we are peeling back layers like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
I would, for the sake of conversation, I would say no, that black people cannot be racist. I would first start with prejudice, and I would need you to show me something beyond that. I would say prejudice simply for the prejudgment, but also out of safety for our bodies for a lot of things. So if someone said, are black people racist towards white people? Some black people may say yes. I would say no, because it's a history of, hey, I can't let them get too close because I won't be safe. Not because I don't like them or I don't mess with how they operate. I just wouldn't be safe. Mm-hmm. So I can see a prejudice being there for sure, without saying, you know what, I don't even need to get to know this person. I just know the history of it. I don't want to be. I'm good. You stay over there, as you mentioned earlier. So I would start off by saying no. I would say no. I'll be the different person in the room. I would say no. And if we had a conversation with someone, they were able to show me that black people could be racist, I'll be willing to listen. But racist is a very strong word. Racist, as you said, starts with superiority. It starts with oppressing a group of people, and I don't see that with us. Part of us comes from love, so I don't see that with us.
Okay. In the movie, though, did anyone do the right thing?
Yeah. I feel like the mayor was doing the right thing.
The mayor was definitely.
I feel like the mayor was doing the right thing through the entire
movie,
entire film, where he saved the kid from getting hit. What else he do? He brought, first of all, Miss Mother Sister.
Mother Sister.
That is a crazy name. Mother Sister is crazy. But Mother Sister, he was bringing her flowers. He kind of he coddled her when she was distressed at the end. You said what? You said something with a bully?
I said he's trying to get some booty.
Oh yeah, he was definitely trying to get some booty.
He's trying to get some.
Hey, you know, it's funny. That's actually his wife in real life.
Really?
Yeah. So it was interesting to see those characters play opposite like that.
Yeah, but everybody else was doing the wrong thing. You know what I mean? Even like I'm thinking about you talk about the mayor doing the right thing. Like how many people were doing the wrong thing to him? Like how the kids were just like, man, like just attacking this dude.
Yep.
You know what I mean? For no reason. I thought that was really uncomfortable for me to watch. You know, like I have a high respect for elders, you know? So like that was very uncomfortable.
So you don't feel like Mookie did the right thing by, like, you know what?
I don't feel like Mookie did the right thing the entire movie. He ain't do one right thing. He was going to see his girl on his shift. You know what I mean?
Bad ball.
Going home, taking showers, on the phone at work. And then he's not responsible, but he definitely is the sole reason for the situation, the final scene of the movie to escalate.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys: does doing the right thing always result in peace?
No.
No, it doesn't. But I don't think I could ever say doing the right thing. I don't think I could ever consider it doing the right thing if it results in somebody dying that's close to me. You know what I'm saying? So
I'll tell you this. The reason why Mookie threw that through the window is because Radio Raheem already had died. So it was a standstill of, yo, what do we do from here? Like, he got killed and he would just watch his friend get killed in the streets. And through his lens, off of the back of what happened at his pizzeria that he worked at, that he don't want to go to every single day anyway, that he feels like he's experiencing racism. His friends feel like they're not giving black people their due diligence. And now it's like, you know what? This is literally the cornerstone of all of the beef that's happening. So, in him throwing the trash can through the window, did he do the right thing? And I feel like that's really what the movie is based around. Our own dissertation of, did he do the right thing in that situation?
Right
and what's right or wrong? Did he stand up for what was right? Maybe we didn't like the way he did it, but did he stand up for what was right?
Yeah. I don't know. I say no, but I guess, you know.
But I guess to determine what's right or wrong, you got to have an end result in mind. All right? What do you want to happen from this?
Subjective. Yeah.
Like, what do you want to come from this? All right? Do you want to get closer? Do you want to divide? Do you want to go, like, what do you want to come from that? And then if you can achieve that goal, then in your head, it was the right goal.
There was 2 different quotes at the end of the film that I want to read. The first one is, violence is a way of achieving racial justice, is both impractical and immoral. It is impractical because it is a descending spiral ending in destruction for all. The old law of an eye for an eye leaves everyone blind. It is immoral because it seeks to humiliate the opponent rather than win his understanding. It seeks to annihilate rather than to convert. Violence is immoral because it thrives on hatred rather than love. It destroys community and makes brotherhood impossible. It leaves society in monologue rather than dialogue. Violence ends by defeating itself. It creates bitterness in the survivors and brutality in the destroyers. That quote is by Dr. Martin Luther King. And the other one is, I think there are plenty of good people in America, but there are also plenty of bad people in America. And the bad ones are the ones who seem to have all the power and be in these positions to block things that you and I need. Because this is the situation, you and I have to preserve the right to do what is necessary to bring an end to the situation. And it doesn't mean that I advocate violence, but at the same time, I am not against using violence in self-defense. I don't even call it violence when it is self-defense. I call it intelligence. So I think that those are 2 pretty profound quotes to end the film, considering how the film ended. You know what I mean? And it gives you 2 different perspectives on how to look at basically our lives and our culture. You know what I mean? I thought those were very powerful and very well put, because they could have used any quotes. Those guys have a million quotes. Yeah. A million quotes. But I felt like that really resonated really well with the film.
Okay. Well, listen, y'all, we about to wrap up right now. Appreciate you guys for tapping in with us and listening and watching wherever you are. Please let us know your best part, your favorite part. Drop in the comments. Let us know what you thought. Share this with a friend if you're watching this or listening to this. Shout out to our sponsor, Universal, for holding us down and sponsoring this episode, man. A lot of love, a lot of gratitude. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, at Nice and Neat the Podcast. Subscribe to all of our channels, all our streaming channels, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. What I'm missing, fellas?
Twitter,
Instagram, all that. All right. So tap in with us. Follow myself on Instagram at Duke, Jalan at just.Jalan, and Omar.Bowden. And I think that's all we got. Until next time, I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Jalan, and this is another episode of Nice and Neat, and that's that. On that. Peace.
I'll be the one to take the risk to go and get them bands. I'll be the one to never sit and go and make a plan. Knowing my mother getting old and I don't got no time. Gotta keep a couple for the road, the rest get left behind. Yeah. To the hunters, pledge allegiance, I stand.